Magic Treehouse, Book Number 19, Tigers at Twilight, by Mary Pope Osborne. Chapter 1, How Far Away? Jack and Danny walked past the Frog Creek woods on their way home from the library. "I miss Teddy," said Annie. "Me too," said Jack. "He's a really smart dog," said Annie. "Yeah," said Jack. "And brave." "And wise," said Annie. "And funny," said Jack. "And here," said Annie. "What?" said Jack. "Here!" Annie pointed at the Frog Creek woods. The small dog with tan-colored fur was peeking out from the bushes. "Arf, arf!" he barked. "Oh, wow, Teddy!" said Jack. The little dog ran off into the woods. "Let's go!" said Annie. She and Jack raced after Teddy. The Frog Creek woods glowed with light afternoon sunlight. The dog ran between the trees and finally stopped at the rope ladder. It hung from the tallest oak tree and led up to the magic tree house. Teddy waited for Jack and Annie to catch up. He panted and wagged his tail. "Hi, you!" cried Annie. She picked up the little dog and hugged him. "We'll miss you." "Yeah, silly," said Jack. He kissed Teddy. Teddy licked his face. "It is time to get our third gift?" asked Annie. Teddy sneezed as if to say, "Of course." Annie grabbed the rope ladder and started up. Jack put Teddy inside his backpack and followed. They climbed into the treehouse. There was a note from Morgan Le Fay. It was on the floor, just where it had been 2 days ago. Jack let Teddy out of his pack. Annie picked up the note and read, "This little dog is under a spell and needs your help. To free him, you must be given 4 special things. A gift from the ship lost at sea, a gift from the Perry Brew, a gift from the forest far away, a gift from the kangaroo. Be wise, be brave, be careful. Morgan." Jack touched the first 2 gifts, which they had already gotten. The pocket watch from the Titanic and an eagle feather from the low-cost engine of the Great Plain. "Now we have to get the gift from the forest far away," said Annie. "I wonder how far away," said Jack. "I know how to find out," said Annie. "Where's our book?" She and Jack looked around the treehouse for one of the research books that Morgan's always let them. "Arf, arf!" Teddy paused the books in the corners. Jack picked up and read the titles. "Wildlife of India." "Oh man, India," said Jack. He said, "That's very far away." "Let's get going," said Annie, "so we can free Teddy." Jack pointed at the cover of the book. "I wish we could go there," he says. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It went faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. But only for a moment. Chapter 2, Caw and Go. The warm air burst with sounds. "Caw-coo! Ee! Ah-cack!" "What's going on?" said Jack. He and Annie looked out the window. The sky was lit by the orange glow as the sun went down. The treehouse was in the trees by streams at the edge of the forest, and the wild screeching and cawing came from the forest's tall leafy trees. Just then 2 creatures leaped onto the windowsill. "Ah!" Jack and Annie yelled, jumping back. Annie burst out laughing. "Arf, arf!" Teddy barked. 2 small monkeys peered at them. Their dark faces was filmed with light gray fur. They looked as if they were wearing tiny parka. "Hi," said Annie. "I'm Annie. He's Jack. And he's Teddy. What are your names?" "Caw-coo, caw-coo," the monkey chattered. "Cold," said Annie. She turned to Jack. "Her name is Caw. His name is Coo." "Oh, brother," said Jack. "I bet he is her brother," said Annie. Caw and Coo whooped as if laughing at Annie's joke. Their yellow eyes twinkled. "We came to gift from the forest," said Annie. "Do you know where we can find it?" The 2 monkeys nodded and cheered. Then they started down the trees. Using their long tails tails and arms. They swung from branches to branch. They jumped to the ground and looked up. Coming, bring Teddy's Jack, Annie says. Then she started down the ladder. Jack quickly flipped through the wildlife of India. He found a picture of the gray monkey. He read, "The monkey is called Longer. The word longer means good, having a long tail." Jack pulled his notebook and pencil out of his backpack. He wrote, "Longer means long-tailed." Annie's laughter came from below. It blended with the sound of the forest. "Arf, arf," Teddy barked. Okay, said Jack. He put the bag, his notebook, and Teddy into his pack. Then he hurried down the ladder. Annie was playing with the longer on the stream's bank. Jack put Teddy's on the ground. Ka bounded over to Jack and grabbed his hands. The longer paw felt like a tiny human's hand. Ka pulled Jack toward the forest. Ka pulled Annie, and Teddy scrambled after them. The longer climbed the huge leafy trees. Then they began swinging from branch to branch like kids on the jungle gym. Annie dashed beneath the swinging monkey. Teddy ran after her. Wait, Jack called, hurrying for them all. "Annie, slow down. We don't know anything about this place." The longer slowed down as if they understood Jack's word. Jack caught up with Annie. They walked on through the forest. "This is so amazing," said Annie. Jack agreed. The sunlight gave the trees a fiery glow. The hot air smelled sweet. Blue peacocks spread their tails. Yellow birds flew from the trees to tree. Small deer ate red flowers in the clearing. "It's like a paradise," said Annie. "Yeah, but don't forget the title of our book, Wildlife of India," said Jack. "Wildlife means scary animal too." Jack noticed long, deep grass in the trees as they walked by. He stopped. "What happened there?" he says. Annie shrugged and kept walking. Jack pulled the books out of his pack. There was a picture of the trees with the gash. He read aloud. "Tigers spearpen their claws on trees' trunks. They leave big gash in the bark." "What?" said Annie. She stopped and looked back at the tree. "So what I mean," said Jack, "tigers live here, and one of them just came this way." Chapter 3. Life or Death. "Tigers?" said Annie. "Cool." Jack read more. "The wild tigers eat almost 5,000 pounds of fresh raw meat a year." "Oh, not so cool," said Annie. Jack went on. "Tigers usually leave elephant alone, and like many smaller cat tigers often abuse wild dogs." Teddy growled. "Wild dog, not the sharp imps like you," Jack said to Teddy. A tiger would eat you in a minute." Teddy growled again. Just then, Ka and Co began hooting. "Co, Co, Co!" The peacock cried, "Caw, caw!" The small deer's mad shirts barking sounded and stamped their hooves. "What's going on?" said Annie. "We better put Teddy in my pack," said Jack, "to keep him safe." Jack slipped the dog into his pack. Teddy had poked out the top. "All set?" Annie said to the little dog. Teddy growled again. This time, a deep, fresh growl answered back. It seemed to surround them. Jack's hair stood on end. "Yikes!" said Annie. "A tiger!" said Jack. "Arf, arf!" Teddy barked. Ka and Co screeched at Jack and Danny from their trees. "They want us to join them," said Annie. "Come on!" She grabbed a branch and climbed down. Jack's hands were shaking as he put his backpack on. He grabbed the branch and pushed off the ground. He pulled himself into the trees. Another growl shook the forest. Oh man, said Jack. Coo, coo, coo. The langurs climbed higher up the trees. Jack and Danny followed them, climbing from branch to branch. The sky above was no longer glowing. The bright orange had faded off the twilight gray. Jack looked down. He couldn't see the ground at all. He listened for another scary world. Only the cry of frightened forest creatures filled the air. Maybe the tiger's gone, said Annie. Jack glanced at Kai and Coo. The langur cuddled together. Their dark faces looked worried. And maybe not, said Jack. How can we get through the forest without running into them? Into him, said Annie. That's the problem, said Jack, and it's getting dark. Soon we don't be able to see anything. Kai and Coo hooted again. They pointed down the tree trunk. Arf, arf, Teddy barked from Jack's pack. Do they see the tigers? Jack asked. His heart thumping again. He couldn't see anything but leaf and branch. Then, far below, he saw the tree trunk move. A snake, said Annie. The snake was swirling around the trunk. It has black and tan markings. The snake body was as thick as a tree trunk. A python, breathed Jack. The python kept crawling up the tree trunk. It is a poisonous? Asked Annie. Jack pulled out their book. By the last light of day, he found a picture of the python. He read aloud. The python is not a poisonous snake. Phew, said Annie. Not so fast, said Jack. He read more. To kill the prey, the python squeezed into death, then followed it whole. The python can swallow an animal the size of the grown deer. Oh, yuck, said Annie. This is more than just yuck, Annie, said Jack. This is life or death. Kai and Coo chattered at Jack and Danny. Not now, said Jack. We have to think. The langur grabbed thick vines. They leaned back. Then they jumped out of the trees. The langur swung through the air like trapeze artists. They swung over bushes and tall grass and landed in another tree. They shrieked at Jack and Danny and waved their arms. I know what they're saying, said Annie. They want us to copy them. Chapter 4, Swing Time. Annie grabbed a vine. Jack looked back at the python. The giant snake was still winding its way up the trees. It has almost reached for a branch. Jack took a deep breath. Then he grabbed the vine too. Lean back, like Ka and Coo did, said Annie. Jack and Danny leaned back. 1, 2, 3, go, said Annie. They swung out of the trees. Jack felt his stomach drop. Air rushed by. Leaves and branches slammed at him. Suddenly, the forest shook with a great roar. Like a flame or flames, a tiger leaped up from the bushes. His yellow eyes blazed. His teeth shone like daggers. His claws barely missed Jack and Danny. Ah, they yelled. The tiger crashed back down into the bush. Jack and Danny swung into the langur's trees. Jack rose one leg around the trunk. He let go of his vines and held on tightly to the branch. Oh man, he said. He was in shock. The langur patted him as if to make sure he was okay. Wow, that was fun, said Annie, sitting on the big branch. Fun? Are you not? Said Jack. The swinging was fun, said Annie. The tiger was scary. Just then the tree began to shake. Branches snapped below. Oh no, said Jack. Can tigers climb trees? Asked Annie. Probably, said Jack. He hung the trunk, squeezed his eyes shut. From the below came loud sound of chewing, smacking, and crunching. Teddy growled. Jack groaned. Now the tiger's eating the trees, he says. Annie burst into laughter. Jack, Ka, and Coo whooped as if they were laughing too. Arf, arf, Teddy barked. What? Said Jack, opened his eyes. Look! Annie pointed at the twilight. The thick gray tub was waving in the air. Another snake? Said Jack, horrified. No, it's an elephant trunk, said Annie. The trunk wiggled her near Jack and Danny as if they were snipping them. And then it picked leaf from the trees and disappeared. Let's go see, said Annie. With Teddy still in his backpack, Jack followed Annie down the lowered branch. They peered out the twilight forest. In the gray gloom, they saw the herd of elephants. One stood beneath their trees eating leaves. Others munched grass. Hey, I've got a really cool idea, said Annie. Chapter 5. Night Walk. Uh-oh, said Jack. What is that? What it is? I know how to escape the tiger, said Annie. Our book says tiger don't attack elephant, right? Yeah, said Jack. So we should travel through the forest on the back of an elephant, said Annie. Jack nodded slowly. That is a cool idea, he says. But I'll get it on first, said Annie. She climbed down the trees until she was close to the elephant back. She carefully lowered herself off the branch. When her feet rested on the elephant back, he let go of the branch. Then she slowly sat down. The elephant let out a low grumbling sound and shivered. Don't worry, it's just me, Annie said softly. She patted the huge creature's back. Thanks, Saba. Saba? Said Jack. That's her name, said Annie. She just told me. Yeah, right, said Jack. Arf, arf, barked Teddy. Come on, Jack, said Annie. It's not scary. Jack sighed and slowly climbed down the trees. When he was above Saba, he lowered himself off the branch. He put both feet on the elephant. Then he carefully sat down in front of Annie. Saba grumbled again. Tell her not to worry, said Annie. Pat her head. Don't worry, Saba, Jack said. He patted the elephant's head. Her skin was rough and wrinkled. The elephant curled her trunk back and rested on Jack's head. Hi, he said in a small voice. Saba flipped her ears. Ka and Ko swung onto the ground in front of Saba. They chattered at her. She waved her trunk at them. The langurs began bounding through the forest. Saba followed. The rest of the herd followed in line. Saba walked in with calm, rolling motion. Jack felt as if he were riding over ocean waves. A full moon was rising above the trees. Where are we going? Jack asked. Just relax, said Annie. Ka and Ko know where to go. Arf, arf, Teddy barked from Jack's backpack. You relax too, Jack said to the little dog. Fireflies blinked. The moon lit a path between the trees as the elephant marched on. From the distance came a low growl. Is that a tiger? Jack wondered. The elephant paid no attention. They kept walking through the warm woods. They marched slowly under hanging vines and through misty clearing. Ka and Ko bounded above them, two moon shadows leading the way. We're going far from the tree house, said Jack. Don't worry, Annie says. Suddenly the long roll split the night. The child went down Jack's brain. The roll came again. It turned into a yawn. The yawning turned into the shadow's moaning. It sounded as if the whole forest were moaning. This is really sad sound, said Annie sleepily. Yeah, said Jack, but the elephants are all marched on. Jack rocked in sleepy rhymes with Saba's walk. He could hear Teddy snoring in his backpack. Soon Jack had rest on Saba's back. He began to drift in and out of dream of rocking in the boat under the dark tree trunk.